Hey, you, it's a blind life. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the It's a Blind Life podcast. My name is Aria.
And I'm Belle.
And we are two legally blind sisters who decided to make a podcast just talking about our lives as blind people. There's no rhyme or reason to what we upload. We talk about what we want when we want. What you see is what you get, and that's pretty much what it is. And it's been a while, guys. It's been quite some time since we've uploaded an episode, and we do apologize for that. And essentially what this episode is we're gonna tell you exactly what happened and everything that went on that led to the chaos of us not being able to do the podcast and to upload for as long as we did. If you just want kind of the Cliff Notes version, you can go over to our other show, the Blind Girls Book Talk. It will tell you kind of just an abridged version. In this, we're going to talk about everything that happened. All the things that happened that was pure and total insanity, and explain everything that's been going on. And at the end, just talk a little bit about kind of the future of the show, just what we're expecting to happen, that kind of thing. So, that being said, where to begin but the beginning? So, as you may know, if you remember back a couple months ago in May, Belle was having a whole time, and there were several episodes that I had to record on my little old lonesome. And she came back and we were like, okay, we've got this. We're all set and we're ready to go. And at the end of July, we had to head back up to our home state for some appointments and some other things that we needed to do.
Well, mainly for a long-standing appointment, and then some other things got thrown in there. And
yes. And so we were thinking, okay, we'll probably be home for about a week, maybe closer to 2, like a week and a half. It will be fine. No worries. We've got this. Little did we know.
Original plan. We'll be home for about 5 days. First thing happened, tropical storm.
Well, no. Okay. So let's back up even further. So we were planning to leave one of the last days in July. And then...
Yeah. Okay. No. Mom and Dad were coming down after they went to our dad's family reunion.
Yes.
That we didn't go to this year because we were down here. It wasn't feasible for us to get there. So they were going to come down. The plan was they arrive Sunday. We leave Monday for halfway, Tuesday halfway, and we'll be there by Wednesday, which was our eye doctor's appointment.
Yeah. Well, we would be home on Tuesday, Wednesday.
Wednesday was our appointment.
Wednesday was the appointment. All fine and dandy. Good start.
Good start. Good idea. Good in theory practice of what was going to happen. Well, I then got a job.
Uh-huh.
I got offered a job and I took it. Still didn't believe that happened, but I was like, okay, well, I need to find out what this job entails. So I messaged the professor who offered me my job at the school. It was like, yo, can we meet to discuss this type deal? Like, blah, blah, blah. She was out of town and she wouldn't be back till Tuesday, the day we were already supposed to be halfway there. And she's like, can we meet in the morning? Check with my parents, and they're like, yeah, if you can meet early in the morning, you can meet her. We'll just drive the full way down. Okay, fine. So I go, worked out well, because our dad was here on Monday, and we had stuff for him to do around the house. Which worked out really well, because some things, we needed some shelves put up, some things hung, some things just fixed around the house type deal, which he took care of Monday. And then on Tuesday, I met with my professor, got a background of my job. Oh boy, we're doing great.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing great with that. So I'm like helping head some certain events. I attend some business dinners and lunches with her, meeting with attorneys and other people in the area to help
Do stuff. Yeah. It's
in a certain legal field around the area. I don't want to give too much info. Anyway, so we then travel home, the 4 of us and lovely Piper, all in a car for 9 hours. We get home, go to our doctor's appointment. We're great.
No, we're not.
We're not great.
So,
Do you want to start with your thing or my
yeah,
thing?
no. So essentially, we went to the eye doctor, and we're going to talk about eye doctor's appointments in general another day. That's an episode for another day. But I went into the eye doctor, and I had been having some trouble with dry eye and some other things. And so
It's been going on for like a year.
It's been going on for like a year. And so finally the eye doctor, he kind of like looked and he's like, I mean, it looks pretty good. And then he like kept kind of looking and he was like, you have eyelashes growing into your eye. I think that's kind of causing some problems. If I just fix those, it'll be great. Okay, great. Not a problem. So he like takes like tweezers and he pulls them out and it's fine. And he's like, so how long are you here for? And I was like, we're planning. This was Wednesday. I was like, I think we're planning to leave next Tuesday. Oh, well, could you come back on Friday so we could like check your prescription and all that and make sure you have the right prescription? Sure.
Yeah, because he didn't want to do it that day because he didn't want the chance of the irritation from the eyelashes to mess with her results.
Exactly.
So we set up for Ari to come back that Friday.
My
prescription changed.
Uh-huh.
Which is a whole mess in itself.
Mm-hmm.
What was Thursday? Something happened that Thursday.
Oh, gosh. Thursday.
What was Thursday?
We went somewhere. I know, like, I think that was a day of just running and going and getting things that we needed.
Yeah, I don't fully remember.
But then Friday
Friday
had to be up bright and early because it takes several hours to get to the eye doctor without traffic. And when we were going to be going, if we would have left at a certain time, we would have been hitting rush hour traffic, which is bad, which could add even more hours. So essentially...
Oh, wait, no. When we left that Wednesday, we got trapped.
Oh, yeah.
Because a building collapsed.
Oh, yeah.
Like a street up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we got trapped there. So then they were concerned also because... And we didn't even find out a building collapsed till we were already home.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Yeah. So we were just like, okay, well, that's whatever.
Our father was worried because he was going to be the one taking her. He was worried about traffic. He was worried about the whole, like, what streets are going to be closed because this building collapsed.
Right. And so we were just, he was like, I hate to do this to you, but can you get up at 4 a.m.? Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm not a morning person. Mornings are evil. I'm a night owl. I have always been a night owl, always will be a night owl. The mornings suck. Morning for me is noon. Like, that's a good time for the morning to start. But of course, I was just like, well, I don't want to miss this appointment. Like, we need to get this done. I need to, because I also needed to get contacts again, because I haven't had them for a year. So I was just like, we need to get this done. Like, yes, I will be up at 4 and we'll leave and it will be fine. Not a problem. Just grab some snacks so that way we have something to eat because nothing's going to be open at that time. And then we can get food later.
Oh, on top of all of this, our family dog, who is very old, they had to board her to come get us and to go to the family reunion and everything. She comes back with kennel cough.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that happened too.
So
which
dealing with that.
She is vaccinated for, but like summer you get kennel cough outbreaks. Like it just happens.
It happens. She's very old. Her immune system is not
The greatest.
The greatest. Also around this time, she has really bad allergies to like grass. So like those are really starting to come up too at the time. Right now she's so itchy. It's so sad. Our white dog currently has a bunch of red spots.
I feel bad for her.
She's such a little old lady.
She is. But anyway, so that was another thing. That was part of Thursday.
Yeah, that was part of Thursday because, again, we also had Piper home. She's like, okay, Piper's gonna get it.
Yeah, so luckily my friend is a vet and the vet that they see. So she was like, we'll just get them the treatment that they need. And literally the second Piper started coughing, she got antibiotics.
But like they're in Pittsburgh, they get there like really early.
Yeah, we
so
were
they're just
there
waiting in the parking garage.
We were there like 2 hours before my appointment. And Dad was just like laid back and he was sleeping. And I wanted to do that. I would have loved to get another hour or two of sleep. But I was having one of those moments where you're scared you're not going to hear your alarm. So like you're just awake.
Because of that. And then I'm calling you because one thing about our old family dog, she's very food motivated. Like this dog loves food so much. So me and Mom are home taking care of her and she is not eating.
Yeah.
She does not want to eat her breakfast. Again, she stands up to eat her breakfast. She's sitting down to eat her breakfast. She's not eating at all. Like, so of course me and Mom are like freaking out because like this dog has like we've owned her since she was a puppy. And in all of our years of owning her, that dog has never once turned down food.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. So they were freaked out and I was just like, we're just going to watch her. Like, it's going to be fine. And it was. She just needed the antibiotics.
She needed the antibiotics. She was very, like, it all made her very tired. She made a full recovery. She's doing great. But, like,
minus the itching.
Minus the allergies. Issue. But that's a separate issue that we're trying to work out right now. But, like, you know, that freaked us out. And, like, we felt really bad for it freaking us out. But, like,
yeah, but at the same time, it is very scary.
It's very scary, especially when we know she's, like,
old.
14, 15 years old. Like, she's old.
She's an old girl.
She's very old. She's very grandma-like. She wouldn't want to get up to go potty. Like, she did not want to move. Walking so slow, like, really freaked us out.
Yeah. So, but she's good now. But at the time, though, that was going on while we're at the doctor's office trying to, get me figured out. And of course, that takes several hours because doctor's appointments take several hours, and that's okay. But then we ended up heading back home, and there was more running that day. I
had to go get my new glasses.
Yeah, I think I came home, and like you guys met to pick me up or something. Or no, Dad dropped me off.
Dropped you off.
Oh, I had to go get my hair done.
Yeah, you had to go get your hair done.
And then
Dad had a meeting.
Uh-huh.
I had something.
Yeah, well, no. While we were at the eye doctor's, you went to get your glasses. You guys came back and you got back like to pick me up from the house to go take me to get my hair done.
Yeah. Well, she was getting her hair done. I was doing my yearly Staples run.
Uh-huh.
To get like my notebooks, pens, highlighters.
So you guys got all of that done.
I got like paper, ink, like anything school related that I would need got in bulk.
Mm-hmm.
So that way I was good for the entire year. I have backups on backups because trust me, I will break a pen. Pens dry out, like run out of ink very quickly with me. I'll like snap them in two, like need all the highlighters because highlighting is something you do all the time in law school.
Mm-hmm.
Different things like that I needed, stuff I needed for my job, different things like that.
Yeah. So like that all happened.
That all happened.
And then after they picked me up, I swear there was another place we went to do yet another thing.
There was. We had to do something else. I forget what it was. Somewhere in there I got my hair cut.
Yeah, somewhere. I think that was the next day. Wait, no.
No, I think that was Thursday.
That was Thursday. That was
I forget
Thursday.
What else we did Thursday, though. Because it wasn't just that.
There was some other stuff.
There was other stuff.
Again, it was errands upon errands upon errands upon, we need to stop here to look at this thing. We need to stop here to look at that thing. Like, there was so much of that. And we would go from the time we got up until like dinner time, eat dinner, come home, and then like still have to try to do some stuff. And it was just constant.
Yeah, that happened. Saturday, she went with her friend in our vet. She had a girls' day with her. No problem. Whatever. I had to go clothes shopping because I needed more dressy clothes because of my job. So went and did that.
So that gets us to Sunday.
It gets us to Sunday.
Now, Sunday, not only did we have like dinner with family that were in town and like all that jazz, but also we found out that a tropical storm developed into a hurricane and it was heading straight for us at the time when we thought we would be driving down. Like, we would be driving down and the storm would be upon us. Like, it would be happening as we're driving. So, of course, because it's our mom bringing us back, she was just like, I don't know. Like, I'm really worried about that. I don't think that's a good idea because there's such low ground. Like, I'm scared we're going to get like stuck and flooded and like all of these things.
That was a huge thing. And it was, I wanted to be back by the possibility of Thursday because at that time I was trying out for one of our school like competition teams. And at the time the prompt was supposed to release Thursday. So I wanted to be there to, work on the prompt and get the prompt done and everything.
Right.
That was the plan.
That was the plan. However, because of the storm, they were like, we just need to like push everything back a little bit. We need to just push leaving until Thursday, and on Friday
we would get back.
We'll actually get back, which worked because we had to pick up our cat from the border on Saturday because he was boarding down here during this time. Oh, that was another thing that happened. During all of this, while everything else was going on that we've been talking about, I was getting calls and texts from the boarding place saying that our cat wasn't eating. So I was then trying to be like, okay, I don't have a good solution for this because I didn't plan for this. I thought he would eat his food. So I had to be like, whatever you need to do. Like, if you've got to take him, because it was like next door to a vet clinic. It was like, if you've got to take him next door to a vet clinic and they've got to do stuff, do it. If you've got to do XYZ, do it. Like, I don't care what you have to do to get him to eat something. Do it. I will fix all of the problems when I get back. You just need to keep him alive.
Yeah.
So it got to the point where he was finally kind of eating for them. He was eating enough, and I was just like, that's okay. We will accept as long as he's eating something, and as long as he's going to the bathroom, life is grand.
Yeah.
Everything's great. So then...
That's happening.
So then Monday is when we kind of fully finalized, I think, like, okay, we'll leave Thursday, we'll get down there Friday, and it will be fine. So Monday, what all happened that Monday?
I got yelled at by our massage person.
Yeah, we did that. We got massages, which was lovely.
Yeah, I got told that my back is a mess, and I'm a person who doesn't like being touched. Like, it took me a while to get comfortable with our person back home to touch me.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, you need to find someone down there to work on your back. Like, it's very, very bad. And I'm just like, oh, well, that still hasn't happened.
Yeah, we're working on it. I actually forgot that's a thing that I need to work on.
If it doesn't happen, it don't happen.
But anyway, so that happened. And I swear there was more places we went Monday because, of course, there was. Tuesday, something got added because we were staying home.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either. But like, I know something happened because it was literally, and the same thing with Wednesday, because of just everything like going on. It was just fully like from dawn until dusk, we were doing stuff the whole time. And there was just a bunch of things that we were like trying to get done and trying to do and all of that stuff. Oh, I know we had to run and get stuff for Dad at one point.
Yeah, we did.
So like that was a whole thing. And like trying to get caught up with stuff and get everything ready. And then Thursday, I wanted to try to start packing on Wednesday. That didn't happen. So Thursday, Belle and I are just hurriedly trying to pack the car so we could get on the road because we needed to get going. And then got to the hotel. Everything was fine. Mom was, again, worried about driving, but we were like, it's okay. It's fine. We're good. And we ended up getting back down on Friday, picked up the cat on Saturday. And then it was like, okay, now we have a week to get everything together that we need to get together.
Well,
now,
at least you and Mom did.
Me and Mom did. Now, while that's happening, while we're trying to get life together, our lives together, Belle's doing the tryouts for the team.
Oh, that was glorious. I never want to do that again.
To say it was a comedy of errors is an understatement.
Honestly is.
Because I swear that week, it was Murphy's Law. Whatever could go wrong, did go wrong.
Yeah, very much so. So, like, the prompt was delayed on coming out because they had to push back finals for the summer term. No big deal. Like, okay, fine, whatever. That doesn't bother me. Came out on Friday. We got back on Friday, just printed it out. I highlighted things, read it over a couple times. I'm like, okay, I'll start working on it tomorrow. Did that. Great, whatever. No big deal. Start working on it. It was due Tuesday at noon. And the first part was I had to draft. I was working on a draft of something. And I find out that stuff was highlighted in the document and my iPad was showing me one thing, but when I opened the document in Word, it was showing me something else. So like I got really confused Monday night and I like had to email the professor and I'm like, yo, just for clarification, because like this is confusing me. What am I ought to do? She tells me, so then I was like, crap, I have to fill out 4 more things. So I like spent that time doing it and everything, checked it all. I was quite proud of it. Everything on Tuesday. And an hour before due. And like my professor was trying to be very sweet and she's like, you have till 4 because I didn't get back to you timely. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that because it was my mistake. Like it was my mistake in doing this. It's all my fault. Like, no. And saved it all, turned it in, blah, blah, blah. Saved it, did what else was needed for me to be able to turn it in. I exit out just to reopen it to check on something. And the document is gone. Complete and utterly gone.
So she's screaming from
I was
me.
like, oh crap. So then I start screaming for Aria.
And I come up and I know a little bit about computers. I know enough to be dangerous. And I checked everywhere that you're supposed to look to tell you it was gone. It was gone. We to this day have not found it.
No. Not found that document. And I was very proud of it.
It was gone.
It was gone. Luckily, I drafted all of my provisions in a separate document. So I just completely redid it. There were mistakes. And I'm like so mad because I went over it with my professor and she's like, well, this was capitalized. So all of that word needed to be capitalized. And I'm like, I did that. And I'm like, I did that on the draft that I lost. I was able to turn it in though. It was fine.
Yeah. It was like 5 minutes to do. And she sent it in.
Yeah.
The chaos was real. And I was just like, Belle was like, I just need moral support, like to just get this done. And she's like, just please sit up here with me. And I did. And it was like the most nail-biting thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Oh my God. It was the worst thing ever that I did.
So that was on, when was that due? Wednesday.
That was
No.
due Tuesday.
That was due Tuesday.
And then the second part, the markup, got released that afternoon.
Mhm.
So I had to do that, which that I thought was that was due in 24 hours, but it wasn't. It was due on Thursday.
Mhm.
Okay, no problem. That got done with pretty much without a hitch. Except for the fact that, like, I sent it my draft and I was like, let me know if everything's fine. Somehow something got messed up with my markup on my laptop. So even though I followed the instructions, things were coming up blue instead of green. And so, like, I freaked out that I was going to get disqualified.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't tell the color.
Yeah. But
that was a freak out. But the professor's like, no, you're good. Like, chill out. You're fine. Okay, fine. Whatever. So go to that. Do the markup. That gets submitted. We're all good. And that was on Thursday. And then on Wednesday, I somehow got signed up for my school to go talk to the first year students during orientation week.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't sign up for anything, but somehow my name got put on the list and I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That happened. And then
Friday.
then I tried to think. I feel like something else happened on Thursday. But I submitted that. Okay, fine, whatever, no big deal. Thursday happens. And then Friday, I was meeting with the person. My professor got me in contact with a alumni who started a program. Met with her. She was lovely. Love her. Best human. Like, she's great. Met with her and stuff. And my mom was like, I need to get you out of the house for a bit because you've been working on those things a lot. So, like, you know, get you out of the house a bit. No big deal. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, great. And we went to Hobby Lobby to get some frames for some things. And then we were going because my mom was like, I want to get you a couple more blouses. It's like, okay, fine. No big deal.
So we go to the store. And they find some things, and Belle goes in to try some stuff. And then I was helping Belle in the fitting room, because kind of what we'll do is I will, like, make sure things are on hangers and, like, take things off of hangers to try to make things go quickly when it comes to clothes shopping. And so, like, I was in the dressing room, like, just getting stuff ready. And Belle comes back in and said, Mom says, like, something's wrong and she doesn't feel good. Now, our mom, she says that a lot. So I was just like, okay.
This is like an everyday occurrence.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, what's going on? So I go out and I'm trying to talk to her and she's not talking to me. I was just like, what the heck is going on? And I was just like, are you, like, ignoring me? Like, what is happening? And a lady comes over and she's like, does she need help? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Turns out our mom passed out, like, full on passed out. And because of some other health issues, everybody thought it was that caused her to pass out. But she was, like, really passed out, like, really bad. So they called 911.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we've never been in a situation like that, especially, like, with our, like, parents and stuff, where we've needed to seek help. So we were just like, we don't know what's going on. We don't know, but we both got to ride in the ambulance. So that was fun. But Mom got taken back. She's okay. But it was just like that entire afternoon. This happened at, like, noon.
Yeah.
We didn't leave the hospital until, like, 5 something. Like 5 something, 6 something. And then, like, none of us had eaten.
So, like, me and Ari are starving. Ari is on the phone, like, in the store. I'm on the phone with our dad being like, what the frick do we do? Like, we're struggling. Granted, he's all the way back in our home state, so, like, he can't help us. But I'm like, I don't know what to do. Tell me what to do. XYZ type thing. Ari is on the phone with, like, the ambulance and, like, talking with all the people around. I keep calling our father. So, like, I'm the go-between for our father and figuring out what's going on. That whole thing. We're having a great time. On top of that, I'm getting emails because the last part of my tryout process was the next day, Saturday morning. So I'm like getting emails about that. Like times keep being changed and like things are going on like that, and that. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening?
Yeah. To say that it was chaos is an understatement.
It was chaos. And then, so like, we finally like get to go back and see mom and everything's okay. We're with her finally. And we're like, what's happening? Like this, that, and the other thing, trying to figure it out. I'm calling our father. Our mom's talking to our father through my phone. I'm trying to reach out to my friends down here, being like, yo, I don't know what's going to happen. I may need help type deal. Because like, we don't know what's going to happen. Our father's trying to figure out how to get down here.
Yeah. So,
or if she needed to stay, but she didn't have her medication. It was this whole huge mess.
It was a whole thing. And it got to the point where like we finally get back to the house and Belle's trying to get our dad a plane ticket. I'm trying to get us food because we're starving. And like, it was just so chaotic isn't even the word. I don't even know what's worse than chaos, but whatever that is, that's what that whole day was, because it was just...
Yeah, like I'm trying to figure out how to buy plane tickets and get him, like, is there a little bag around here that I can take as a suitcase? That whole thing, like, because he contacted his brother and sister and they were about ready to drive him down here. It was a whole big mess. On top of that, I'm like, I'm supposed to be preparing for this thing I have the next day.
So it got to the point where that Friday night, I was just kind of like, do I have to be up all night? What are we doing? And eventually our mom was like, no, just go to sleep. It'll be okay. And I was like, well, I mean, just start yelling if you got problems. So then it got to the point then where we dropped Belle off for her thing.
No, I walked my thing.
Oh, no, you walked to your thing.
Because mom didn't want to get up. And I'm like, it's fine.
That's right.
So I walked to school for my thing. And I'm like on the phone with Aria, like freaking out. I get there, no big deal. I do the thing, freaked out about that. And then as soon as I message them that I'm done, Aria and our mom come and pick me up. Then we had to figure out how to get to the airport. So like we figure out, finally find our father. We pick him up. We go out to eat together. I'm explaining what I just went through, freaking out that I messed up. But like got to the point of I was supposed to hear that night. If I make the team, great. If I don't, it is fine. I did this. Life exploded on me for this. I was like, in no way, shape, or form, if I didn't make the team, was I going to blame our mother. But I'm like, man, it's going to be a very good excuse for myself that she was in the ER. So like, I was like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And she knew I wasn't being like all your fault. It was more of it will make myself feel better to know that there were external circumstances that I had to deal with
that could be factors
that could be factors into the outcome.
Exactly. So I think we took like a couple hour break because everyone was tired.
Yeah, we all took some naps because we all had to be up early or we were all in a stressful situation. It was fine. We took a nap.
And so then we still had yet to get groceries because we were supposed to do that on Friday and it didn't happen. And so we went and...
You guys went to get groceries. I stayed home and did my readings because at this point, I'm to start school on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to work on some readings. If you guys go, like, fine, no big deal, whatever. I get through some readings. It's fine, no big deal. I got through, like, one of my classes for the week and started on another one.
So we come back loaded down with groceries. And we get everything put away. We get dinner ordered.
That's great.
That
We're getting
works.
Set and stuff. And then
Piper's tag broke.
Yeah. Piper's tag completely ripped. Like the metal. She had like one of those little bone tags. And like the metal on the outline that holds everything in. Completely ripped.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh my God. So our mom's like, you and your dad just go. Go get a new tag after we eat. It'll be fine. We're like, okay, fine.
No big deal. So we go, we get a tag, type in the stuff for the tag. It is fine. It's no big deal. She has a new tag now, which is quite nice. It's not her old tag, but it's quite a nice tag. So we do that. And then Mom and Aria call and they're like, hey, stop at this ice cream place and get some like bowls of ice cream. So that way, we have ice cream to eat.
Because
no
it's
deal.
also like a tradition in our family to go for ice cream like the day before school starts.
Yeah. It's like a treat to say goodbye to the end of summer and to be like, congrats, you're starting a new school year, that type of thing.
And because they weren't going to be there, they kind of wanted to essentially get the ice cream the day before. Like, so that way we could kind of have it all together.
We could have some left over, like that type of thing, which is very nice of them. It's something like they've always done too. Like even whenever I was in college, I would get ice cream from the cafeteria for my freshman year, and they would be like, call us when you eat it, and like we would take our first bite together type deal. Similar things like that. When I had my apartment and stuff, it would be I had one of those little tiny pints they would get, and I'd save it for then.
Yeah, exactly. So like
it's a tradition that we've carried on.
Yeah.
So we
they
had that for that.
So they got the ice cream and stuff. And then not long after you got back, Belle gets an email.
I did. I got an email from my professor who offered me my job and was head of the team I was trying out for. And was pretty much hey, I am so sorry. This was an extremely tough call, but you did not make the team. It was very close. This was a really hard decision. Do not let this affect you. I believe in you. The person I met on Friday believes in you, and so many others. I'm going to give you the best experience I can through working with you with your job. Don't get down on yourself. And I was like, okay.
So of course there was mourning.
There was mourning. There were some tears.
But of course, whenever you try out for something, that happens.
That happens. And for me, I'm not a person to try out for things. This was like I was kind of pushed into doing this, which is fine. I don't regret not doing it or anything like that. And I didn't regret it. It was fine. But still sad. So went to bed, got up the next day. Our parents left that morning.
Yeah. So it
Sunday.
was like trying to finish up the last couple things before they left, and then them heading out. And then it was just me and Belle. And it was kind of like, okay, what are we going to do? Like, and we're starting to try to plan like how the week's going to go, what we're going to do for meals. Like,
yeah, I'm finishing my reading because if I made the team, I would have had to drop a class. So I was like, okay, well, that didn't happen. So I have to read for this class. So I finished the last 2 class readings that I had from 2 of my classes. Finished that all, kind of preparing like what the week's going to be like.
Yeah. Like just starting
to get prepared.
Yeah. And so then it was...
So it's always been a thing of, with talking to my therapist and everything, really pushing self-care for myself during law school. And it became a thing on every Sunday. I would either take a nice long shower or a bath to just relax before school the next day. Well, I get in the shower and everything, and all of a sudden I hear my phone going off because I have it playing music. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. And I happen to just look out and like flip my phone over to see like what's happening, like, because I'm like, oh, it's probably mom or dad. So I flip it over and I see my professor's name on the caller ID. And I was like, what? Like, does she need something for my job? Again, I have conditioner in my hair, but I'm like, oh, this is going to be a quick phone call. Hop out, quickly dry off a bit. And I pick up the call and I'm like, hello, professor, like blah, blah, blah. She sounds exhausted and she's like, it's been a horrible 24 hours. Stuff happened. I have too much respect for you to sugarcoat this. So I'm coming out and saying this because I respect you far too much to do this to you. And I hate the fact that I'm about to do this to you. And I'm like, oh, dear God. I'm like freaking out, like thinking like I'm not going to have my job, like something. And instead she's like, so one of the people we offered a spot to on the team didn't accept the spot. They turned us down. And I was like, okay, like, why are you calling me? And she's like, so the team have spent most of the day trying to decide if they wanted to fill that spot or if they just wanted to leave it blank. And I was like, okay. And she's like, they decided to fill it. I'm like, okay, I still don't know why this is a phone call for me. And she's like, and you were next on the list for the spot. And I was like, okay. And she's like, so cheers if you want it. So I'm like, of course I'll take it. So in 24 hours,
Not even 24 hours.
It was like 23 hours.
Yeah.
In actuality, it was like around 23 hours and some change. And so I took the spot. Of course, I like come downstairs. I'm like, Aria heard some of the conversation, but didn't know what happened. So I like come downstairs. I'm calling our parents and like talking to them and telling them everything. And they're all just like, what just happened? And I'm like, uh-huh. So while I'm talking to them, I'm getting messages from the head of the team. So, I'm messaging him. I'm like, I still cannot believe that this happened type deal. He's like, welcome to the team. I'm like, can you tell me anything about my next steps? And he was just very helpful, very sweet, that type of thing. And I'm like, okay, great. No big deal. It's fine. So then I was in denial for a hot minute. It wasn't until actually last week.
Yeah, that it fully
fully sank in that this was real. Because again, I got the email. I mourned the loss of not making it. The next morning, I was fine.
Yeah.
I was like, it happened. It's no big deal. I was understanding my readings. I'm like, this is going to be fine.
Yeah. You were just like, we're going to make do and it's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine.
And we were like, it will be. It sucks, but it will be.
So that happened.
So Belle's first week back was just trying to figure out what her schedule is, trying to figure out what my schedule needed to be, trying to just figure out life. But also, there was a lot of, for me anyway, and as much as I could make for Belle, there was as much breaks as we could take because we were exhausted. Because at this point, it's been 2 weeks straight of just pure movement and chaos and insanity. And you just keep going and going and going and going. And we are not Energizer bunnies as much as we wish to be.
As much as that's my family nickname.
Yeah. But we are not that. And so we just needed as many breaks as humanly possible. And so it worked out, but
it worked out. I had different things to do. So on Wednesday night, I ended up having to go to an organization fair for the school. And then the team, because that was my first short class meeting with the team, my mentor was like, hey, we're going out to this place after. Do you want to come? And I'm like, well, I don't know where it is. If you're okay if I follow you, yeah, I'd like to go. So I follow him and I stayed there for a bit and then he left. So I left with him because I'm like, when you leave, I leave. You're my timer. I don't want to be here, but I need to socialize. So I did that. Fine. Whatever. No big deal type thing. And then I came home and everything, went to class the next day. Weekend started for me. Great. Fine. No big deal. I don't really think anything happened that weekend. And then next week happened. I had classes, which classes were a little weird because for some of them, for the time I was on Zoom, adjusting to different times of things and everything. I had my first class for the team on the next week. It was great. No big deal. But on the week got very hectic because on Thursday, I had to go to an event as a member of the team. So I also had a late class on Thursday. So I had to go and do that late class, do an assignment, try to hurry up as quick as possible to then hitch a ride with another person to go to this event. I'm there at this event and then they're like, oh yeah, the team's going out to the bar again. Again, everybody's of legal drinking age in the United States. So I'm like, okay, I haven't eaten yet, but who needs to eat?
Who needs food?
Who needs food? I'll go. So I go to that and I'm giving Aria updates through everything. And I'm just I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I'm so tired. My mentor is like, oh, I'm planning to leave at 10. Is that okay with you? I'm like, I'm just here because you invited me. So I'm here because you're here. So sure. He's like, okay, great. No big deal. Whatever. So we go to that. Oy vey.
Yeah. It was just, again, chaos. But in this case, it was more controlled chaos.
It was controlled chaos.
We were able to manage it a lot better. It was just, again, it's been 4 weeks of just so much going on that we just needed, as often as we can get breaks for Belle, we make breaks happen for Belle.
Yeah, so like Friday after that long night and day, because I had class early, I had meetings through my lunch break, and then I had my afternoon classes, and then I had this banquet that I had to attend, and then I went out with the team, talked to people, got phone numbers of people. Really freaking weird. I got side hugs from people, from like the older members of the team, and I'm like, I don't know you. Why are you touching me? But it was fine, is what it is. But Friday, I'm like, I'm not getting out of bed. I was so exhausted.
Yeah. And that was the thing. Like, I knew, and I even told Belle, I was like, you're not doing anything on Friday. Saturday, you can get a bunch of schoolwork done. Sunday, you can even get a bunch of schoolwork done.
And then we figured out it was actually a 4-day weekend for me.
And then Monday, you get another day off. Like, you're not doing anything. You are resting until it's time for the week to start.
So I have class tomorrow. I have a meeting with a member of the team in the morning.
Oh, I'm so tired. I got sick.
So yeah, it's just been chaos isn't even the word. And as I said in the book talk episode, you might hear all of this and be like, you had time. You could have gotten some podcast episodes out. I had zero bandwidth for anything else. And Belle can attest, I love reading. I've started getting into crochet. I love all of these things. And I didn't do any of that in these past, for the first 2 weeks. I started getting back into it like week 3 and week 4 because I had a little bit of bandwidth, but not much.
Yeah, it was getting into stuff there. Just utter insanity. I'm still exhausted.
Yeah. And like I said, we're trying to give Belle as many breaks as humanly possible, like just letting her chill because we need the downtime. We need the rest as much as no one wants to think that people need breaks. We do. And that's why this month of no episodes happened. I needed the break. Belle definitely needed the break. I don't even think we would have been able to record, to be perfectly honest.
No, because it was constantly just one of us had to do something.
Exactly. Like I said, we had one episode for each podcast, like ready to go, but I just wasn't able to edit it. I didn't have the mental capacity to do any sort of editing, and I didn't want the podcast to suffer, and I didn't also want to hate doing the podcast for trying to force myself to do it, because both of these shows that we do, they're for fun. And if we're not having fun doing them, then we don't want to be doing them. We want this to be something that is for fun. And plus, we're not paid to do this in any way, shape, or form. We are doing this purely because we want to and because we enjoy doing these episodes. So at this point, like we said in Book Talk, and we'll say here too, there may be times in the future that, it's just me by myself talking about something. There may be more breaks, intermittent breaks, where we're not here for a week or two. And it sucks. It's not ideal. It's not what we want. In a perfect world, we would have the ability to do this as often as we do it. But right now, for Belle, life comes first, school comes first, and this comes next. And if she's got to focus more time in school and stuff, then that's what's got to happen. And by that, if I need to focus on different life stuff, that's got to happen too. Like, we've got to do what we've got to do in order to try to keep this going as long as we can keep it going, which we don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Because we like doing this show. It's very fun to be able to talk about our lives and to connect and to be like, hey, this is how blind people do it. So, yeah. Can you think of anything else that I forgot, Belle?
Not really. My throat hurts.
Yeah. Belle is sick now. So.
Thank you, Professor. I love you. I love you, but
But now I'm sick.
But now I am slightly sick. I'm better than what I was yesterday, I think.
Yeah, we're trying to knock it in the butt. Because we don't.
Yeah,
Belle does
I don't
not
have time for this. I don't. I really do not have time for this. This is a new level of I don't have time for this. I do not have time for you.
I do not have time for this.
I do not have time for you. That is the state of my life right now with my job, the team. I feel so bad for my friends because we were like, oh, we'll do all this stuff. And I'm just like, I care about you all and I want to do these things, but like, I do not have the time.
I don't have them.
And like, thank goodness they are so sweet and understanding. They're like, yeah, you have a lot more commitments than we do.
Yeah.
But like,
and the thing is too, they're going through it too, so they get it. Like,
they get it. Like they don't exactly have my job and they're not on a team, but they do have the schoolwork. The one is doing one of our other programs through the school. Like, they are busy in their own rights. So, like, but I always feel so bad because I'm always the one who's just like, guys, I can't.
Yeah, so, well, and I know we're planning to go to the movie, so you might be able to be like, hey.
Yeah, we plan, like, things have to be planned out, like, a week or so in advance. Like, on Friday we talked, and we were like, okay, we'll plan these things out. This will be what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, we're getting planned, and we're, again, I think we're better than what it seems that we are, but it's just trying to find your footing again after so many things have happened. It just takes time, and sometimes you have to just give yourself time to figure it out and to get back to where you need to be. It is what it is, you know? So, yeah, so that being said, thank you for coming along as we gave the unabridged version of everything that's been going on in our lives for the past month. Of course, if you like this episode, if you like what you've been listening to, please consider following the podcast and sharing the episode with your friends. It really would help us to grow the show, and we would appreciate the support those actions would give. And hey, you don't have to. We're not going to fault you for not doing it. And also, another thank you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for any support that you've given to us. We do truly appreciate it. I know a couple times I saw pretty high listen rates for Blind Life, which kind of shocked me. So thank you for that. Thank you for listening and being here.
People listen to us?
People do listen to us, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's magic, isn't it?
That is.
Yeah. But again, we are sorry for all of this, but we've got to do what we've got to do. And we thank you for just being here while we get through it.
This does not pay my bills, so I got to focus on something that will pay my bills.
Yeah, that's true. We need to focus on what we need to focus on. And if this starts paying our bills, great.
Then I will make it more of a priority.
Then we'll be able to make it more of a priority.
Not saying that this needs to pay our bills. I'm just saying.
Right, exactly. That, again, we're doing this for fun and for free. So we're just here, man. Like,
very boring people.
We're just here trying to live our lives, and we hope that we're giving you entertainment at the very least. And like, if there's some episodes that don't come out, hey, we've got backlogs and we've got book talk. We've got a lot of stuff out there. It's just not new, which I know is a whole thing. But anyway, and the next time, I think I'm going to put out whatever episode we had planned before our lives exploded. I don't remember what that is. I'm going to work on revamping the schedule and fixing it. So when we know what the next episode's going to be, we'll tell you. We just don't know right now. because insanity. And hey, we got podcast recorded. I never said anything about fixing the schedule yet.
Yeah. Be grateful we're here.
I'm very grateful we're here. And, we hope you enjoy this. I mean, at several points, Belle was just like, yeah, my life could be a movie. I talked to my therapist and she said my life could be a movie.
My therapist is constantly like, I feel like your life is a sitcom.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And I was like, yep. Yeah, that definitely. Yeah, that. So like for a while there, I was doing like weekly appointments just because everything exploded. And she was like, she was supposed to have like a student sit in on her. If like I gave my approval, and I'm like, that's fine. I don't really care. I feel more bad for that person. And she's just like, it's always exciting for your appointments because I can't wait to see what next week's episode is. And I'm like, yeah, this is the sad thing.
Girl, you don't even know.
Girl, you don't understand.
You don't even know. And like, that's not including like there was some like friend drama and stuff that we didn't even get into because
I'm not getting into that.
It's not worth getting into.
No.
Like,
that's still slightly happening, and it's like, I'm not.
We went through basically everything, and there's still more that I'm just thinking of as I'm sitting here right now. Like, it's just a time. Times are had. Not sure if they're good or not, but hey, we're here, and that's what matters in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, we're here. We're doing it. It's fine. Debatable, but... We're here. Honestly, there are times where I'm just like, man, I could be doing something else with my life. And then I'm like, I have nothing else I would do with my life.
Yeah.
And all the drama that's unfolding, I'm like, I thought, like, where was, like, all of this early in the summer?
Yeah. Why is it now?
Why is it now? Can we not do this now?
Why is it spicy?
I think I said that to you the other day. Like,
You
I just
did say it the
walked
other day.
around all the time just being like, why is it spicy?
Why is it spicy? So that being said, we will be back next time, and we hope to see you then. And don't forget, it is a blind life. Have a good one. Bye.